Okay, Annie, you can now share. So I would say that we give people about 5 minutes to join, then we can start. Okay.
Okay, Doc. So we are starting in 5 minutes.
Yes, please. All the panelists that are in, please, could you come up? I can see Chidube, Samuel. I see Promise is already in the call. I can also see Amara. And I'm told that Jimo and I think also Mustafa, I think Mustafa is already here. But some of your panelists would be joining a bit later. So just take note of that, okay? Chibuzo and Oge.
Okay, doctor.
Is Annie in the call? Promise, are you here?
Doc, now. Can we start now?
I'm just giving room for more people to join. So I think. And also for the panelists, I think I can see Amara, Promise, Esther, Chidube. Who else is there? And Samuel, of course. So I would say that you have almost all of your panelists. I think, I don't know who is giving us the beats in the background. Please, we appreciate if you don't. Okay. So Chibuzo, I think we can actually start, right? This is already 7 after 7, so
Yes,
please go
though.
ahead. Yeah. I just observe, so today is about you
All
guys.
right.
Have fun.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. This is Chibuzo, and today is our day 3 of our Dekemp at 2 celebration. We have very amazing people in the house today. Okay, so today is a scholarship panelist discussion with Kempites, and today we are going to be having a panel discussion with some Kempites who have achieved great heights in the scholarship application process. They're going to tell us about their scholarship application and several things surrounding that. But before we do that, we're going to play our Dekemp anthem. We're going to play our Dekemp anthem. So I'm going to play that right now. Just give me a moment. We're going to play our Dekemp anthem. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen right now, and then show you what we have here. Let me know when you can see my screen.
Not yet.
Can you see my screen now?
But there's some noise around it. Let me share it.
Dekemp is a great family of trust, love, and excellence, of oneness, togetherness, in all that we do. We aim to achieve great success through process when I learn to make our works much more better. Yes, process over results. Empires, resourceful people who support each other, knowing that we are working progress. Yes, we will achieve great success. There's one who founded this noble group. Lord, please make us all winners.
And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your patience going through our Kempite anthem. So on the basis of the Kempite anthem, we are starting today's event. I would like to mention that I'm not on this moderator seat alone. I have with me the very amazing Ogechi Jennifer Igbabuchi. She's going to be here moderating with me on this special panelist section. And yes, remember the first day we played a monologue for the Kempites, and then second day we played for Faith, Hope. And today, our very own Dr. Casey is going to play a monologue on, okay, let me not say what it is about. You hear it when he plays it. Dr. Casey, over to you.
Okay, you get it now. Okay, you get it now. Just one. Open. Let me know when you see my screen.
Doc, you can see your screen now.
Okay, but it has stopped, right?
Yeah.
I see something went wrong. I needed to select first my sound, so otherwise you don't hear it. And now that I've done that, so just as Chibuzo said, if you remember on the first day we played Hope, which is the purpose of Dekemp, is the center of what we do. Then we also played a monologue on faith, which is what keeps us going, believing that till we all win, we are always a work in progress. Yesterday we played movement, right, which is what we are. We are a movement, we are change makers. Making difference in our various communities. And today we are going to play unity because of course, if we are not united, we cannot move forward. So listen. Rising from the deep ashes of the food system. Deeply under the notes is that strength of we Okay, so I hand over back to the moderators of today.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc. Doc, there was an issue in the monologue. There was no sound, so we couldn't hear. We had to follow through the subtitle to find out that the monologue was actually talking about unity, right? So we talked about faith, hope, and movement, and today we're talking about unity because if we're not united, we can't move forward. If we're not united, we can't achieve great things. I remember I told you all that I have Oge with me here. So before we go forward, I would like Oge to say something to the audience so we can kickstart this meeting.
Good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me? Hello. Good evening,
Wow, amazing.
everyone.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. So we have our panelists for today. I'm going to be showing you who our panelists are in just a jiffy. So just give me a moment. Let me pull up my slide and show you our amazing panelists for today. Yeah. All right, I'm trying to pull this up. present. Let me know when you can see my screen. Okay, so we have our panelists for today. We have 8 amazing Kempites. The first on the list is Chidumebi, and then we have Babatunde Onase, then we have Amara, we have Samuel, we have Esther, we have Mustafa Said, we have Promise Oko, and then finally we have Jimo. They are going to be our panelists for today, and we're going to be asking them several questions during this section. So I'm going to allow our panelists to just give us 1 or 2 things now. The first panelist we have is Chidumebi. So Chidumebi, I'm asking you to unmute yourself. Please tell us about yourself and how you got to know about the entire scholarship process.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Ms. Chidumebi, and know about scholarship application process when I left the university, and that was when I came in contact with our mentor, Dr. Kelechukwu Onwukamike, and meeting him kind of brought in kind of exposure about what scholarship application is all about. He really mentored me and gave me that hope that I needed to succeed. So definitely I used all his experience to apply in the application process, and it definitely worked out for me. Thank you.
Can you see my screen? I think my screen is not showing.
Chibuzo, no, I'm sharing. There was
Okay,
something
beautiful.
part of your screen.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much, Doc. Well, thank you so much, Chidube, for that answer. I hope, I know that the idea behind this entire panelist section today is for us to understand how the entire scholarship process works and how we can utilize the strategies that each and every one of you have used and has gotten giant strides for ourselves. And then, because of course, they say principles is something that delivers similar or same results to anyone that uses it, right? So as we see what you've done so far, we will be able to do so, all right? Okay, do you agree with me?
Yes, I agree with you. All right. Mr. Babatunde Onase, are you here with us?
Okay, I just asked you
Babatunde.
now.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Mr. Babatunde Onase. Welcome.
Yeah,
Please,
thank you very much, ma'am. I'm pleased to be here.
Yeah. Please, can you briefly introduce yourself? In the course of doing that, can you also tell us how you started your scholarship journey?
Okay. My name is Babatunde Joseph Onese. I'm an incoming graduate student who will be pursuing my graduate studies in transportation and civil infrastructure. I started my scholarship journey in the year 2018. And during this search, sometime 2019, while on LinkedIn, I saw Dr. Kelechukwu's posts. So I was able to connect to him. And ever since then, I've been giving updates even before the Dekemp WhatsApp group. So in 2020, when I took the IELTS, I sent him a message to give him updates regarding that. So after which he said, oh, I think it's time for you to join my mentorship group. Ever since then, aside the scholarship, I've been in contact with him and other persons in the group, which has really been of help to me. Thank you very much.
Wow. Wow. This is really great. What will you say was the
I
most
think you have a
challenging
background. You have a background noise from your end, please. You have a background noise from your end.
Okay, I think Chibuzo, you can go over now to the other panelists. Yeah, okay, I just muted you because of the noise in the background. Could you take over, Chibuzo, and then move through the other panelists? And I guess you guys have to be quite fast because we are really beginning to run out of time.
Hey, Doc. So thank you so much, Mr. Babatunde. That was an amazing answer. Thank you so much. Amara, are you on the call? Please, if you're on the call, let me know so I can ask you to unmute. Amara, I'll go, oh, wow, you're here. So Amara, thank you so much for being part of this section. I'm so glad that you're here. And I have a very, very important question for you, specifically for you, yes. So my question is, you've achieved a very great height in scholarship applications. What would you say was the most challenging part of your scholarship journey, and how did you overcome this challenge?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Good evening, you're welcome.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Amarachi, and the most challenging part of the scholarship journey is, first is getting the money to write my required examination, that's the English test. And also the second one is knowing how to write my essays, because I applied to numerous scholarships, because I applied in 2018, hoping that I will get, because I graduated 2017. And from the people I knew, they were like, getting scholarship is so easy. Just once you graduate with first class, just write your essay and you will get. So I only applied to Commonwealth Shared Scholarship, hoping that since everybody's getting it, it's easy. But I didn't get. I was placed on reserve in all this, like 3 schools placed me on reserve. So I was so down. So I found out that the weak point was writing my essay, writing those essays. So it was really difficult for me. So how I passed, like how I came over it is because I met one doc that is in the UK. So he came to my department, he came down from the UK. So I was telling him. So he now said, writing an essay is not just all about penning down and writing. First of all, you have to understand which course are you going for. Understand it, bring out your paper, write, like do a manuscript, like write something, go to the websites of the school, find out what the course is all about. Does it align with your interest? Maybe you saw a title that said Masters in Food Security. You just use your idea of food security and start writing essay without checking what that school that is like maybe Masters in Food Security in University of Hohenheim now might be different from Masters in Food Security in another university. So they have different modules. So he said I should approach all my essay by knowing what that school is all about, knowing what they want from their prospective student, and also knowing what they want their student to be after graduation. So that is what will enable me to write a very good essay. So the difficulty I faced while pursuing my scholarship is essay writing and also the money for writing my examination. But then I succeeded in both of them.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So that means that whatever challenge anyone would get or have during application process, there is always a solution for it, or more than one solutions. Wow, thank you so much, Amara. That's really amazing. And okay, so Mr. Samuel, are you on the call? Mr. Samuel, I asked you to unmute right now. I want you to answer a very important question for me. The question I want to ask Mr. Samuel is this: what would you say differentiated you from the rest, considering how competitive, of course, we know how competitive scholarships are. What would you say was an edge, something that gave you an edge over every other person when you were applying for this scholarship? Mr. Samuel.
Okay, thank you very much, Chibuzo, for the question. And okay, actually, that's to introduce myself, but I'll tell people my name. My name is Ashwaju Samuel, okay, and I'm studying Green Networking Cloud Computing. So down to the difference between you and the others is actually the wealth of information you have. Actually, that is the major difference when it comes to scholarship. I do tell people it's not your first class, it's not your second class, it's not your third class. I mean, a lot of persons have this degree from different countries in the world, just in case you apply for an international scholarship. So the difference is the wealth of information. I mean, you have to like immerse yourself to information, different information, and also mentorship. I believe so much in mentorship, and that also worked for me a lot. So I think that is the major difference from me and others, and it gave me an upper edge when it comes to picking the right candidates, because I have learned from the expert, and I was able to like maneuver my way through the whole scholarship process. And this experience from what they told me and what I've read about was able to help me in my journey. So I think information and mentorship, it's also very important when it comes to scholarship application. Yeah.
All right, wow, thank you so much, Mr. Sam. Information and mentorship. I believe these are the two reasons why we have Dekemp today, because trust me, I don't know any other place where you'd have access to a quantum of information and an amazing mentorship platform like Dr. Casey's mentorship platform. Like Dr. Casey literally holds you by the hand and takes you through the entire scholarship journey. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel, for that answer. So, okay, in the next question, I have so many questions for all of the panelists. I hope you guys don't mind. I don't know if Esther is on the call. I'm not sure if Esther is on the call. Please, if Esther is on the call, let me know. But if she is not, Mr. Mustafa, Esther here?
Yes,
okay,
I'm Tochi. Sorry. My name.
Sorry,
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I don't know who's speaking.
Can you hear me?
Okay, Tochi. Oh, sorry.
Tochi. Yes. Sorry.
All right. Good evening. Good evening. You're welcome. Thank you so much for being part of this panel section. So I have a good question for you. And I just want you to like pour your heart out to us. All right. Let's be real now. Pour your heart out to us. Okay. So my question is, how did you prepare for your applications? Because of course, we know that in scholarship, there are several applications and sometimes they get too bulky that you don't even know what you're going to do about it. So how did you prepare for your applications and how did you work towards each and every one of them? Give it to us, let's go.
Okay, how do I prepare for every application I made? So first of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Esther Okafor, and I'm also called Tochi. I'm currently doing my master's in Wageningen University at the Netherlands. Okay, so how do I prepare for every application I make? I try as much as possible to look through the adverts, look at keywords, and then provide a targeted CV and cover letter, because it's very important that you look at what the recruiter, sorry, I'm using the word recruiter, what the people are looking for. So you use that to make up your application, your CV, and your cover letter. And I also go further by, for example, if for some of the PhD applications I made, I look through also, try to read more about the subject area and see what I can add. For me, I take a look at the whole scope of my life, not just academics, because you're not just going to tell them, oh, you're just into the whole study thing. You also can bring stories from other areas of your life and then use that to see what skills you can bring from that area into this PhD or master's program. Take, for example, and you're applying for a program that requires excellent communication skills. You've done, for me, I participated in the British Council Fame Lab competition. And with that, I could narrow down that story to show them or demonstrate that I have excellent communication skills. So it's not just looking at, oh, I have a first class and you just focus on that. So try to paint a whole picture of what. So these are the things I look into and then use those stories to draft my motivation letter. Can you remind me the second question, please?
Okay, yes.
Hello?
I said, my question was, how did you prepare for your applications and how did you work towards each and one of them? I think you're making a good point towards that, yeah.
Yeah, so I think I have answered both. So those are the things I look into. And then when I get there, after that, then I think most scholarship application, you have the interview phase. And again, I look at those in the interview phase, they're just basically for you to get to the interview stage. It means that your application was good. So now they want you to come and defend what you've written on paper. So if you're going to tell them about communication, you have good technical expertise, mention those technical expertise, be explicit and don't be too vague. Oh, I have knowledge in laboratory skills. I have laboratory skills. What laboratory skills? And mention laboratory skills that are relevant to the project you are doing. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Hello,
so
Mustafa.
I think that's the question.
Thank you very much. Hello, Mustafa. Are you here? Mustafa. Okay, we'll join in later.
Hello, okay, I'm here. Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome. What is your parting advice to the audience and those looking towards winning a scholarship? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I said, what is your parting advice?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Okay. What is your parting advice?
Yeah, I think I've gotten the question. So let me respond.
All right. All right.
All right. So once again, good evening.
Good evening,
everyone, and congratulations to all. Well, my advice to scholarship applicants would be that anytime they advertise scholarships, you see a lot of people will be submitting their applications, and for these slots you see 5,000 to 10,000 people applying, and they end up picking those, just those 40. And most times people who don't apply for scholarships will be like, but the number is too low, you know. But truth is that focusing on advising applicants who are applying for development scholarship, which is my area, right? So the thing is that you have a lot of issues, general issues around, you know, people talk about general issues, but scholarship, organizations that are scholarship are looking for people who are very, very specific in their ambitions. Not that, okay, they said there is problem of drug abuse. Oh, there is drug abuse, and no. So like scholarship awarding institutions are looking for people who can pinpoint areas that make drug attached to general problems. So my advice would be that so long as you are going to apply for scholarship, especially in the social science discipline, you have to start with a mindset revolution. You can't afford to be a person that always goes with the crowd, so to say, right? So you want to be very, very specific. Whatever is going on, whatever conversation is going on, whether it's about migration or drug abuse or poverty, you know, or women's issues or child rights issues, you know, or generally human rights, you have to focus on substance, not just the general thing. And that is the differentiating factor between those who are just following the story and people who would actually win scholarships in that sector. So the thing is that you have to pay attention to the detail, meaning that you have to be reading, you know, you have to follow the conversations going online. You have to think of the solution in that area where you want to contribute to. So by the time you have that kind of writing the scholarship application essays, you'll be able to see things that no other person will say, because you are one of those people who has been paying attention to the research in that area. And not only have you been like following research in that area, but you've also, and you are already seeing how you could come in. And most times, whenever you understand something, you'll be able to come up with something very unique about it. And that's how you end up writing what is going to make the difference between you and the person that is not going to be selected.
Oh, thank you so much, Sir Mustafa, for that answer. It all has to have to do with what you can personally offer. Thank you so much for that. I'm so grateful for your answer. Promise, you are next to on the line. So I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself right now. Promise, okay. I hope you can hear me. All right, beautiful. So I have a very
yes, I can.
I have a very quick question for you. I've known you as someone who has done several scholarship applications over the years, and you must have had several rejections. So my question is, how do you deal with scholarship rejection? Like, how do you deal with it?
Okay, so thank you very much for that question, and it's a privilege to be here. I want to be sure you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, great. So basically, rejections will always come. I remember applying to about 10 schools, 10 to 12 schools, and I got just 2 acceptance, and the others were rejections. So basically, you just know that the rejection of an application is not for you. Okay, it's not like you were rejected, your application was rejected. And if you actually think through the process, you would see that it's for some reasons, you understand? So basically, it's just for you to improve. Okay, look at it. Okay, what can I do better next time? Just figure out where you made your mistake. If you're able to think through, you definitely be able to pinpoint the particular area where you do not do as expected, you understand? So it's okay, you just take that knowledge and you move on very quickly. You move on very quickly. So it was just like, okay, let's say you were expecting, I don't want to say some things, but basically that's just it. So you just learn to move on very quickly. If one scholarship is blocked, let's say you apply for this scholarship, you were supposed to pay for GRE and IELTS, and now because you did not get the scholarship, they're not going to pay for that. The next thing is for you to think, oh, how else can I raise the money for my GRE and IELTS? You understand? You apply for the school, they did not take you. Okay, what happened here? Okay, what are the schools that are most likely to take somebody for my own, someone that is going for, let's say, computer science? What are the schools? You just re-strategize, that's all. It's not a big deal at all. I think the problem a lot of people make is like trying to blame themselves. Oh, I could have done this. Oh, I could have done that. You understand? I think just moving on very quickly from the rejection works. Moving on quickly and taking the lesson, you understand, and then putting that thing you've learned into your next application. That's what does magic here. Thank you.
Wow, thank you for that. Getting the lesson and putting it in your next application. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys are taking this down, right? So our final panelist for tonight is Abdul Ganiyu Jimo. Jimo, are you with us here? Because I have a very final question for you that's going to be very amazing. So if you're here, all right. So Jimo is here in the house tonight. So Jimo, I want to ask you a very personal question. Now, my question is, on a ranking of, on using rates, how would you say, how many scholarships did you apply for? And what was your motivation for applying to all those scholarships that you applied for until you got to the one that finally accepted you?
Yeah, thank you very much, the moderator and other panelists. I stay on the existing protocol. Yeah, what really motivates me to get the final scholarship I got is that believing in one of our word we say in Dekemp is till we all win, and I believe one day I will have one yes, and I believe I got that yes. That was last week, and I was so very happy. But the reason, what I will say is that we just have to believe in ourselves, because sometimes we'll get rejection from some application, not that we are not fit. Like for example, Erasmus Mundus scholarship, where I applied for 3, which I think each candidate applied for maximum of 3 from each country, and all this scholarship place all my application on reserved list. Even there is a scholarship among the one I applied for the Erasmus, which is I think the point is the score point for someone to get that scholarship. I think the Erasmus Mundus on medical imaging and application is for you to have 7 points, 7.0, and at the end of it all, I ended up having 6.50, and I was not given. I was placed on reserve list. That shows that from the result I got, they let me to know that not that I am not qualified, but they have more other people that we have the same score, but they have other qualities. But what I will say that keep me to apply for this thing is that because I believe that one belief I have is that I will not do my master's in this country, because I am from humble family. I believe everyone in Nigeria is from humble family. We are looking for scholarship, at least to have good education over abroad. And every day, if I come on our group chat, I see people sending acceptance letter, sharing their failure. I believe these are the things that really keep me moving and that really keep me focused. Currently, I'm still in the country. I've not left because I believe by September, October, I'll be leaving. But I like Samuel. Samuel, I think, is one of the panelists who is also an Erasmus Mundus scholar. Every time he send any kind of application that is out, he will surely send it to me that guy, please try to apply. I just keep applying, keep doing those things, keep trying all my best, submitting application. Even some application, I have to involve different people to review it for me, to review the SOP, to review the motivation letter and the whole thing. Even I think Promise Echo also did same, and which I think that was when I submitted application for Alabama, and Alabama gave me admission, but there's no funding. And I saw the whole thing. I saw that I can't pay the money. I just have to tell them I can't pay the money because I don't have, because I need scholarship. They now said, okay, if that's the case, I should go and write GRE for me to apply for their PhD. And I told them that I don't have money for now to apply for GRE to do the whole stuff. I just have to forfeit that. And this application that I was selected for, seriously, it was just jokingly I applied for it. I just apply for it. And I will tell you that the motivation letter, I just write it the way I write other motivation letter. Like I look at the application, I look at what I want to do, I look at what they really need, and I just define it the way they want it to be. And at the end of it all, we did the whole interview. And if you see the interview, I prepared for the interview for 3 days without non-stop, non-sleeping. And when we get to the interview, I dusted the exam. The internal exam, the entrance exam was so very hard that I've never in my life, even most of the job application I got, I've never done such interview. See question is 2 hours 30 minutes, people supervising us from proctor. At the end of the day, we did the exam. The following day, they said I was among the best selected candidates. And the third day, we were subjected to the interview, and we did the interview. At the end of the day, they selected 20 around the world, and fortunately for me, I was part of them. I think what really keep me moving is the camp. To be sincere with everyone that is there, is the camp, because I believe we have leaders, we have successful people. Even if you are getting failure, as in you are getting rejection today, I believe you can make it, and you will surely make it. And try to work along, try to do your own personal home assignment. Don't think because I send my motivation letter to someone, that is all. Ask Dr. Kelechi. Dr. Kelechi Dr. Kelechi used to review my motivation letter when I just joined the camp as a pioneer member. And at the end of the day, I see that I did not get the scholarship. And it's not because Dr. Kelechi did not review it very well. I just have to take the assignment upon myself. I informed Dr. Kelechi this year that, Doctor, don't worry, I'm going to be the one that will write my motivation letter. And when I get that 1 year, then I will share with you. And I think also Dr. Kelechi has been a good advisor. Let me call him academic advisor, even if he's not part of my lecturer, because he has been so doing well to me, advising me. Rejection letter has really goes to a level that I am thinking I'm not going to apply again. But Dr. Kelechi will let me to know that please, Jimo, continue applying. You have the strength and you have the resources. The only thing is going to take is just your time. There was a time I want to think to even opt in for Erasmus, which I want to self-fund myself. At the end of the day, I look at it that I won't be able to do it because the euros is in millions, and I don't want to do something that will put me in trouble. At the end of the day, I will not be able to focus on my study. I called Dr. Casey. Dr. Casey advised me, Jimo, keep applying. A lot of PhD I applied to. I applied to PhD from SFI, Science Foundation, Ireland, and the whole application I was put on reserve list. I think Promise knows about this. I also share with her. She shared some interview tips with me, which I use for the interview. At the end of the day, I was just mixed up and put on the reserve list. I just have to move forward. Also, I applied for PhD from UK, from a lot. I don't even know the number of applications I applied to. But only thing I believe is that I just believe in 1 year. And again, the 1 year I got was just from Africa. And Africa was never part of continent I think I want to what? I want to study. But when I look at the school, I look at what the school is bringing out, and the school, with the program I applied to, they are connected with MIT in US. They are also connected with New York University in US, which give us higher opportunity to what? To have our internship done in US, which I believe that is going to work out when I got there. And I think what really motivates me, guys, everybody here, my brothers, my sisters, my guys, my guys, I have a lot of guys here, and those who are above me in terms of anything is that I saw that people sharing success. Yes, 1 year, and that 1 year will surely come to us. I think this is all I have to say. And thank you very much, the moderator, for the question. Hello.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
It's been really small, but thank God for
Yes.
everything
Yeah.
at last. 1 year pursue all knows. Thank
Yeah.
you. So it's time for questions from the audience. And I have one question for Chidumebi. Chidumebi, are you here with us? Hello? This is Chidumebi here. Okay, okay.
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
here.
she's here.
Okay.
Just ask her to unmute.
Okay, please unmute.
I have done that.
Okay, someone asked in the audience, how do you get notifications for scholarship?
Notifications for scholarship.
Yes, please can you tell us?
Getting notification for scholarship, you don't just have to wait for before you can access the scholarship. You have to apply, you have to do the finding yourself. You have to like check, see out at the look. You can join groups like Dekemp, what there are people that source out and your platform. So there are platforms that are there for scholarship funds. So whenever you see those links, you don't just have to keep asking what is it all about, what is required. So you have to put in the work yourself, like look up the link, see what is required for such scholarship. Then you check the application requirements, know the ones you have, the one you have to work for to update. Then you now try the application. You don't just have to keep on waiting for the link as well. You can as well check. That is why you have a smartphone, you have an internet. You can just Google it out, like available scholarship or schools that offer scholarship or scholarship people have gotten in the past, and you can just check it up and do the work yourself, rather than keep on waiting for people to do it for you. But if you are not conversant with that, you can always seek out for mentorship from people who have been in the line for long. I think I've answered your question. I cannot hear you. Unmute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, very well.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much for this. Okay, thank you very much for this wonderful answer. Mr. Onase, over to you. Hello, Mr. Onase, can you hear me?
Onase is not in the call. I think Promise is covering up for Onase.
Okay, Promise, I have a question for you. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, I'm with
Okay,
you. Thank you.
all right. Please, the scholarship journey, can someone actually go on this journey alone? I mean, do you need to be part of maybe a mentorship group to go on it? Can someone actually go about looking out for a scholarship alone without maybe a mentorship platform, without a mentor? Is it possible to do it alone? Do you necessarily need a platform or maybe a mentor to guide you? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
I think her network is unstable, right? Because she's saying something, but we can't hear her. All right. So I think I'm promising the network is unstable. Jimo, can I ask you a question? Hello, Mr. Jimo, are you with us? Oh, sorry, you are muted. All right. So
Okay, thank you. Yes, unmute me. Yes, I'm with you.
right.
Yes.
So I have two questions for you.
Okay.
Please be sharing links with us, just like you shared with. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Not you. The question is from Akin Soji Akindele. He's
Okay.
asking someone who graduated with a 2-1 in engineering.
Yes.
Is it possible for the person to get a scholarship now writing GRE and IELTS?
Yeah, that is very possible. That is very possible. And number one thing I would say is that depend on the scholarship organization, the foundation. I mean, the organization. It could be foundation. It could be institute, depending on their requirement. Because sometimes some scholarship will tell you, okay, if your undergraduate is science, is STEM, you don't need to provide GRE or IELTS. And sometimes they could be looking at your research background, or they could be looking at your experience. Like me, myself, I'm not a first class student. I'm a 2-1 student, and my CGPA is 4.03. And if that could work, then what else other people that have 4.47, 4.37, which is even above what I have? I believe one thing you need to do is that, please, you have to try to add experience to yourself. All those internship, please try to involve yourself in it. I think there's one internship I did with Intershala. Sorry, I did one internship with Taking Mind, and I have to use my last kobo when I was in school. That was when I was in 400 level first semester. I have to use my 8,000 naira to pay for the scholarship for the internship, and I was able to gain experience. I have to gain in that internship, and the certification shared with me and the recommendation letter has been one of the best additional qualification I have to all my application, whereby anywhere I put the certificate, the recommendation letter, everybody see that, wow, you have good experience. Just try to attend boot camp, attend any conference, online conference that is free. Just attend, get their certification, get the idea. But as you are attending those conferences, which is going to be additional experience for you, try to attend conferences that are related to your course. Understand, that related to engineering, that related to science, that related to technology, since you are an engineering student. Yeah, I would not expect you to be attending a conference that is being done in English language, or all those things. You can surely get it. Depend on the requirement, the criteria set by the what? By the scholarship body, or by the people giving out the scholarship. Then another thing is that try to make sure your motivation letter, try to make it short. The highest is that you should have 1 page, or at least the highest is 2 page. Minimum is 1 page. Just try to convey the information to them. try to tell them your GPA. You know, you said you have 2.1, right? You can see that you and someone that have first class can apply for the same scholarship and you get it. How will that work? Because they want to see what are the courses you have done in the university, that you have A's, that you have all those A's that you have. Try to fine-tune those scholarship in your work, those courses in your transcript, write it out, then make sure you show those courses in the motivation letter or in your even in your in your CV. Just try to show all those qualities that you have that is good. Those bad qualities that you have, those bad grade, make sure you hide them. Show it in your CV, show it anywhere, anyhow you can do it, that you make sure that that quality that you have, that additional experience that you have, you make sure that everything surfaces in your application. For the GRE, I think those people in US will be able to answer this question very well. But I know most US school, they ask for GRE, they ask for TOEFL. But sometimes some scholarship body will tell you we don't need it. Provide a letter that shows that you are what you have done your degree in what, in English language medium. If you can provide that, then just do that. Just follow what the scholarship has asked you, then put the rest in the hand of what, in the hand of Almighty God. Understand? And at the end of the day, one day you get yes. And again, I also want to advise the engineering guy asking question of IELTS and TOEFL. Sometimes I want to advise all of us, even those who are scholars abroad. Sometimes you might be looking at that, I want to go to North America, I want to go to Europe, I want to go to, at the end of the day, you might end up being in Africa, and you could be doing great more than the people outside there. But I believe if you are still the product of those continents, you will still go there. It depends on where you find yourself. Just start from there. You know, I gave an example of myself. Understand? And what I will say again to the engineering guy is that please try to add any additional experience to your what, to yourself. That shows that you are not only focusing on the theoretical aspect of learning, you also focus on what, on the practical aspect, doing boot camp, attending virtual conference. Like today, COVID-19 has made it easy for us to attend different kind of conference for free. Like today, I was just accepted today for a conference, and $100 was paid for me to attend the conference. And what I have to tell them is that I have done this also project, and I think attending this conference will really help me, because I don't have that money. I don't have that $100 to just go and waste like that. I can use it for any other thing. I have to contact the conference organizer. At the end of the day, they approve it, and it was paid by American Association for Advanced Science and whatever. You understand? But you just have to like sell yourself, you know, even if it is not even scholarship application, you just have to sell yourself to get that quality. Like today now, it's also an additional profit for me. For me, attending 3 days conference virtually, and the money is being paid, while other people are paying for that for that amount of money. But what I will say is that please, whatever you have, please just do something unique to yourself. Don't say, well, it is when Dr. Kelechi review my motivation letter. Dr. Kelechi can review your motivation letter. At the end of the day, you will not get it. You will not get the scholarship. Understand? Dr. Kelechi know about it. Even last year, 2019, during COVID-19, me and Dr. Kelechi, we worked together, and I got accepted at Google. At the end of the day, because of COVID-19, they rejected my application because they said they can't invite me for an AI residency program in Berlin. Understand? But what I would say is that please just do anything that will make you unique. Understand? Like, I never disturb Dr. Kelechi for motivation, whatever. But just try to come together, put things together for yourself. Someone said I'm a 2-2 student. 2-2 student, my guy, you are very good to have it. Understand? You are very good to have it. The 2-2 you have, what are the things you are going to add to that 2-2 that will make you stand out even above 2-1? I can't say above first class. Understand?
Yeah,
but
of course.
Understand?
I can't say it's always about what you have.
Understand?
That stands you out, that makes your own application different from every other person's application. Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Jibo, for that very great advice. And I hope and believe that everyone who has been a part of this section has learned something exceptional from this training. So I'm going to ask Mr. Samuel one last question before we close up. So I have a lot of people who are asking about TOEFL, GRE, examinations and whatnot. But Mr. Sam, my question My question comes from Chetachi. Chetachi is asking, can someone who got second class lower and without work experience get a scholarship? If yes, or if no, how did you get the question? Okay, so I just asked you to unmute right now.
Okay, yeah.
So you got the question right, or do I repeat?
Yeah, you can repeat yourself, please.
Okay, Chedachi is asking, can someone who got a second class lower and without work experience get a scholarship, right? And then he's also asking, how do one get an internship opportunity?
Okay, for that question, I'll say to get a scholarship with a second class lower without work experience, well, it's very difficult, but with God, all things are possible. So I can't really say, yeah, but sincerely, that's going to be very, very difficult. I mean, you need to like patch the gap for the lapses that you have. So you need to like get internship, you have to get work experience. It's very much possible to get a scholarship with a second class lower, but without work experience and without any additional things, that might be very difficult. I mean, I know very much about Erasmus Mundus Scholarship, and we have some couples of second class lower with Erasmus Mundus Scholarship, and they competed with first class students, and they even have edges over first class students, but they have additional stuff. They have maybe publication, they have good work experience. Some even go further to do PGD, that is postgraduate studies, not masters, but PGD, and it's also an additional plus. So my advice for this person is to like try to like upgrade yourself, get something more, maybe the work experience, very vital in that specific role. And how to get internship, it depends on your field. Different fields have different ways, but I mean, if the person is in Nigeria or in Africa, I would advise you, maybe you should try to volunteer in some companies that are related to your role, so you can easily get that. Or maybe you can get a job related to your field, or it's okay like that also. But to get a scholarship with just the second class degree without experience, without any publication, might be very, very difficult for you, because you're competing with world-class students from all over the world, not just in Nigeria. So try to upgrade yourself, look for internship opportunity, volunteer in different roles. I mean, we should not take volunteering role for granted. I mean, they are very, very vital when it comes to scholarship. So try to volunteer in roles that are free. Don't look at the money for now. Get that done. And I think with that, you'll be able to like, then also prepare yourself. I mean, put yourself in different way you can. If you can write some papers, try to publish and get ready for the next application road and keep applying. I believe one day you get your yes.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Samuel. Thank you so much. Remember, it's all about the competition, right? So make yourself extremely competitive. Make yourself extremely competitive, right? So Mr. Mustafa Said, someone is asking a question about Shivnin. She's saying, can I apply to Shivnin with TOEFL instead of IELTS? Mr. Mustafa, are you with me? Oh, sorry. I just asked you to unmute right now. Sorry for the glitch here.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Loud and clear. We can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Removed the English language requirement, so you don't need to prove you are or TOEFL. You don't need an English proficiency test to apply for Children's Scholarship at all. However, certain schools in the UK require students to present an English test score for them to lift the condition on their offer. These schools include schools like the London School of Economics, the University of Manchester, the University of Edinburgh, and a few other top-ranking universities like the University of Oxford and Cambridge. But to apply for Chevening Scholarship, you don't need to take IELTS, you don't need to take TOEFL. All you need before you apply for a Chevening Scholarship is a demonstrable track record of leadership experience and networking, as well as relevance of your career plan to what the UK government is doing in your country. And yeah, so you're good to go. Yeah, but just know that Chevening Scholarship is a very, very competitive scholarship. You have to prove to them beyond reasonable doubt that you are actually a leader in your field and you can make a difference. I remember for Chevening Scholarship, you have to come back to your country and spend a minimum of 2 years. I know of a Chevening scholar who hasn't come back, and the Chevening program officers keep on sending her DMs on Twitter, and they are like, "Hi, when are you coming back?" Yeah.
Thank you so much. Your response, you made it very, in fact, your response is really cool. Thank you very much, Mr. Mustafa. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, thank you very much.
Let's allow, I want Amara to comment, especially around that topic on whether it's necessary or not necessary and what is the impact of not writing IELTS or TOEFL. I think she has her own unique story. So maybe you can just share within 1 minute your input on this.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen many comments, and most of the comments are going towards, do I need to write IELTS? Do I need to write TOEFL? But like so many people come to me, they say they want to apply for scholarship and they don't want to write IELTS and they don't want to do this. But then I used to tell them, it's better to prepare. And maybe you have like your aim is to apply for Commonwealth, and Commonwealth doesn't require this thing, and you focus all your energy there. While if you had this exam test, the results, you can, like, you have so many opportunities, you can place your application. So I used to tell them, even if, like, okay, you are checking your pocket, if I bring out this money, I will not have money again, I will not have money. But then you have the money, but you are just being, like, say, you don't want to spend, you don't want to pass through the pain. But I always tell people, it's better you pass through the pain, because when the gain comes, it will be 100-fold more than the pain you pass through. If you want something, you get ready for it. Like during my time, I said it earlier that it was difficult for me to get the money for writing the exam. So I had to wait for my NYSC, my Alawi, NYSC Alawi. That's what I used. Because even my people, they said, I want to waste money because the IELTS is 75,000. They said, okay, if I write this, will I get the scholarship? I said, no, it's not if I pass that I will get scholarship. It's just a requirement. So, but then I'm determined that I want to make myself like come out from the group. Like, you know, there are so many people. That's what you have to understand. You have 2-2, you have 2-1, you have first class. But then try to make yourself exceptional. Even if you don't have the money, if you have someone that will give you, just stop saying, do I need to write? Do I need to write? Even if you don't need to write, write it. Write it if you have the money. Just prepare and get all the required, even what you don't need, get it. So that when you give in your your application, they will see how this person have this person have this, and you have everything. Why won't they pick you? So my advice is pass through the pain, study for it, write, and get a good grade, and you will see that scholarship that you're targeting, maybe they will tell you, okay, Commonwealth doesn't require IELTS, so you are now relaxed. I will only apply to Commonwealth. So what is there when maybe there are other opportunities you would have gotten, but you limited yourself to only that one that doesn't require IELTS, thinking that you are the only one that should apply for it. So if you really want something, you prepare and get everything ready. Like when you have everything, like opportunities are very wide that you can apply to many things, and maybe that place you are putting your eye is not what you get. You now get a better place. So that is what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amara. I think I always see it in the way that if you don't know something, you don't know, right? So as much as you can get what you know that is needed, get it. Scholarship is an investment of itself, but like you said, the benefits they completely outweigh whatever you think you can ever spend on the journey. Just 1 year would cover up for most of those courses that you think you are going to make. I just also want to bring quickly on us, just to briefly talk, because I think for some people that are interested on the pathway to the US, and this year has been one of the most fantastic, I would say, for Nigerians, because so many of them have gotten or have got into the US, many of our Kempites among with them. So could you just briefly tell us what the application process to the US would look like? And I think we should be trying to round up so we don't keep people here much more than is necessary. Onase, I think you can unmute yourself.
Hello, Baba Tunde. Baba T, I just asked you to unmute yourself. Right?
Yeah, I've done that. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. You're welcome.
Okay.
Good evening, welcome.
Thank you very much. So regarding application in the US, I think fall 21 happens to be one of the best year for Nigerians due to the fact that some schools waived GRE and they waived English proficiency. But all things being equal for fall 2022, I would advise we leverage on some things in fall 21, which we can still work on in fall 22. That is sending cold mails to advisors. Sometimes this works, while in some schools it's stated, don't contact advisors. But I tend to tell people, just like the previous speaker said, if you have what it takes, take the English proficiency, take the GRE, then your next step should be contacting advisors. US application process can be strenuous, but it's worth it. And why not just streamline your options by checking on schools that closely aligns with what you have? One of the best research repositories you can use, which I can share in the group after now, is usnews.com. With this site, you can get over 4,000 universities in the US where you can search for your options and tend to submit your applications. For further details, I know we can always give more information in the group. Thank you very much, Doctor, and thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we go, I just have one last question for Promise. So, Promise, are you here with us?
Yes, I am.
Whoa, someone dropped something. Okay, that's Mustafa. Guys, check the chat box because there's something amazing. Mustafa just dropped on the chat box. So, Promise, I have a question for you, and it's very important for me. Now, the question is, how do we navigate the American educational system? Some people come to ask us this question. Is it possible for us to move from BSc, someone that has a 2-1, move from BSc and get a PhD in America without going through an MSc program? If yes, how does the process go? What's the process surrounding it? How does it happen?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. So for what the last speaker said, he mentioned cold emails. So let me start by answering the question. Yes, it is very possible to go directly from a BSc to a PhD, even as a 2-1 steward. As someone that graduated with a 2-1, it's really, really possible. So I think most of the speakers have said all that needs to be said concerning the publications. So write the IELTS and GRE if you can. And what I want to also put is that before you even write the IELTS and GRE, people tell me, okay, they are waiting to write it first before they start contacting professors, but that is not, I won't advise you to do that. I would say start contacting the professors first while you are preparing. Let's say you've not gotten the money and you intend to write it in like 2 months' time. Start contacting professors right now, like from this evening. So send your emails to them, because I feel like professors have a huge, they make a huge contribution, yeah, in whether you get the admission or not. And some professors will even tell you, don't bother about GRE. Like my own professor, when she interviewed me and everything, she said, ask her, did I need to get the GRE to get funding? She said no. And the IELTS was also waived. So what I would just say is that don't procrastinate based on, oh, you're waiting for you're waiting to get the, to get your scores ready and everything ready before you contact professors. No. So once you contact these professors, then your admission, your funding is like almost sure, because I did that for three professors. Three professors that accepted me into their laboratories. Out of those three, I got the two US scholarships that I got. So that's what I have to say. So it's very possible. Please take what they said important. Publications, the conferences attended, how well you're able to align your statement of purpose to what the department is searching for. So you have to check what the department currently wants and align it. And also your emails, please. Your emails should be aligned. You shouldn't send like the same email to all the professors. No, customize your email. And one very quick way to do that is to say, okay, I've read is to search what the professor research interest is. Then you say, okay, I've read so and so article and I gained this, and I feel it's give me more insight for my research in this. You understand? That way the person knows that you're serious. So, and also I will not say you should go and start reading all the articles as well. Just be smart about the entire process and just start sending your emails. That's the first step, honestly. Because once the professor is convinced and has accepted into his or her lab, then it means funding is not an issue. And if funding is not an issue, your admission will most likely go through when you do all that is necessary, like putting everything necessary. So also I would say you can also reach out to your graduate coordinators. Okay, can my IELTS be waived? Because I might did that for University of Notre Dame. I asked, oh, can my IELTS be waived? Because I got my English, I studied in a school where English was the first language. Person said yes, although it was not officially waived. Okay, can my GRE be waived? Because Susan just laughed and said, okay, yes. And then I even went ahead to ask, can my application fee be waived? I'm a first generation child. So what I just say is that please be free to ask, because you don't know what's obtainable until you ask. When you ask, that was how I got all those things waived, and I finally put it, but I actually got the funding. So that's what I just have to say. So just don't be lazy about the cold email thing. That's like the most stressful part of the application, because you don't really know who has funding and who will accept you. So that's what I really have to say. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Promise. And before I give room back to the moderators, I just also want to bring back Esther for one key reason, because I think she's perhaps on the panelists, one of the person that has completed her PhD and her master's and planning to go into a PhD. So she has at least spent 2 years in Europe completing her master's. So Esther, I just want to bring you in again with regards to the life after you have finally settled or arrived at your destination. Some of the panelists are about to start that phase, and also some of the people in the audience are prospective, and I want to get from you within, let's say, less than 1 to 2 minutes, between 1 to 2 minutes, what would you say you were able to do, right, to adapt in this new environment, and how have you kind of explored your adaptation to become overall also successful? Chibuzo, could you unmute?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
For me, yeah, I think I'm unmuted already.
Okay.
Yeah, so thank you. My advice for prospective students, especially when it comes to the educational angle, is to understand the grading system of the country they are going to, because it's very important, and that is how you're going to judge yourself. Then you can also try to align yourself with students that are like way ahead of you. Like I was doing a 2 years master, so I met people that are done their first year, and I get to ask them questions and to understand what it is. Then for every course I did, I try to understand what is the lecturer expecting, what is the objective, the learning objective of this course. How am I going to be graded? So am I going to do practicals? Am I going to do examination? If I'm going to do both, what is the mark component, marking level for each component? So these were the things I put into consideration. ask questions, and we had study advisor in my schools that we could pose all these questions to. Just make good use of every resources. And for us in the Netherlands, it was very critical because we wrote exams every 8 weeks. Every 8 weeks, you wrote your exam. You do 2 courses and you write your exam. So there was no time for you to say, oh, I want to file everything to the 1 week to the exam, and I start reading. You're automatically going to fail. So it's very important for you to adapt. At first, it was not easy, I would not lie, but after the first 2 periods, I think I adjusted. So these were some of the things I did, and I think for me.
Okay, thank you very much, Esther. So I will give back now to the moderators. I would say that, guys, you try to round up. We want to thank the panelists for taking 30 minutes, much more than we asked of them. So really, thank you, guys. Chibuzo, are you back?
Hello, everyone. Sorry, my internet connection was poor. I hope everyone can hear me right now. Thank you so much, Doc. I want to give a special thank you to all of our panelists, to Chidumebi, Babatunde, Amara, Samuel, Esther, Mustafa, Promise, Jimo. Thank you all so much for sharing with us, for pouring out your hearts, and for impacting us with knowledge and wisdom that we know will take us to our next level in the scholarship application procedures. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And I want to especially thank my co-moderator, Oge. She did amazingly well. Thank you so much, Oge. And thank you also our first campite, Dr. Casey, for bringing up this section. God bless you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, please remember that our Dekemp at 2 challenge is here, and all you need to do to become a part of the campite is to send out 150 words content of what Till We All Win means to you, and post it as a comment on any of our social media. Doc, please help me share the next slide so they can see the challenge. So share it on any of our social media, and then we will choose the winners at the end of this celebration. And please remember to fill the attendance form on the chat box. Okay, please don't forget that. Remember to fill the attendance form on the chat box, because that's very important. And all right, so yes, so this is our Dekemp at 2 challenge. Remember, the question is write between 100 and 150 words on the topic process over results, explaining what it means to you. Submit as a comment on any of our official social media handles, and we'll announce the winner on 1st of August 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we end tonight's section. Before we go, Doc, do you have any other last words for us before we end tonight's section?
Yeah, so I would really want to thank all the panelists, and to you moderators, to you, Oge and Chibuzo, to Amara, Esther, Onaze, Mustafa, Jimo, who else is there? Chidube. I really want to thank all of you for accepting at very short notice. As you know, I'm a very spontaneous person, so I just came to them like 2-3 days, because I didn't also want them to say I need to prepare. I didn't want them to prepare. I just wanted them to bring what they have with them, and I'm happy that they did just that, and also to Promise, of course. So, and also to the audience, you can see here the agenda. We continue tomorrow. Also, big thanks to the campers that have been doing the outreach program. So super thank you. So tomorrow we would continue with the day 4. We would be having Mr. Victor Ogunmola, so that's the founder of iScholar Initiative, who would be talking to us on how do we leverage on networking for professional advancement. If you see what iScholar is doing, you would agree with me that there is no better person to talk on this topic. So please keep it the date, same time tomorrow, and look forward to seeing you all. Take care and bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Dr. Casey.
Bye-bye.